Hey, welcome to Live from Dennis's house. Today we're doing a special on Brainfest. What is Brainfest, you may ask? Well, we're going to find out all about that. Brian's going to tell us everything you ever wanted to know about Brainfest and then some. But we're doing something a little different, though. These guys with me here is Black Rain, the Black Sabbath tribute band. Last time they were on, we did what album did we do? Black Sabbath, Paranoid? All right, so now this time we're going to mix it up a little bit. Brian doesn't even know this, but we're going to spotlight Led Zeppelin II tonight instead of another Black Sabbath one. So we're going to do like the history of heavy metal. Because last time we started talking a little bit about that, so we'll get a little more into that today. So, we're going to start the show off first. We're going to do a long-distance dedication to Frank Vincent, of course, who passed away today. The great actor from Sopranos and Goodfellas, of course. Billy Bats, the best scene in any movie ever. He was basically like in all my favorite movies. He was in Do the Right Thing. He was in Casino. What else? Am I forgetting anything? We'll pull up his IMDb during the break. Yeah, I said that. That was the first one I said.
I didn't hear you.
Pay attention.
So, all right. So let's play some songs off of Led Zeppelin and other stuff, and we'll get back to our interview, find out everything about Brainfest. So let's start off with the Lemon Song by Led Zeppelin, and we're going to do the Pusher by Steppenwolf, and we'll be right back. Today is basically the first unofficial show of the season. So Chacha's not here today. This is the He-Man Woman Haters edition of the show. So we can curse and say stuff that Chacha won't let us say. So, so I'm actually very angry this season, too. You know, last season I was kind of complacent and I was calm. I was in a good mood, but I'm back to being very angry again this year. So I think it's going to be a good season. I'm much better when I'm angry. So I got a lot of things that I'm very angry about here. Like, what am I? Oh, the hurricane. Now, I'm not necessarily angry at the hurricane. It's a messed up thing. But I noticed last night that there was some show on, like, relief aid or some show about raising money for hurricane victims. Now, on the surface, that seems like a nice thing, right? But they had all these celebs out there telling us to give money, and that's what drives me crazy. Whenever there's some sort of thing where Oprah is sitting there on the telephone telling me to give $25 when she has enough money to buy Texas and Florida and refurbish both states.
Absolutely.
And then she has to take my $25. You sons of bitches.
Pretty funny.
I want to fist fight Oprah Winfrey. Do you think we can set that up before Brainfest?
Hey, we could do it at Brainfest.
Exactly.
We could set up a ring right there.
Yes, and the opening bout will be me fist fighting Oprah and Stedman. I'll fight them both at the same time.
Live at Dennis's house versus Oprah Winfrey. How awesome would that be? Oprah.
Yes, I'm all for that.
Oprah,
so,
what?
yes,
Can I dance with your dates?
It just drives me crazy that all these celebrities, if they all put all their money together, Oprah, Madonna, and everybody else put all their money together, they can cure all the problems in the world.
All they got to do is put $1 million each.
Exactly. Or, the people that I do respect is someone like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. These guys are billionaires, and they've got this club going where they all donate half of their earnings to good causes, like, hospitals and, curing diseases and things like that. So I think if you're a billionaire and you give half of your money away, you still got plenty of money to live there. So
Absolutely.
I think all celebrities should give half their money away, at least. You can live on $1 million a year easily.
Do you do it, Brian?
Yeah.
You function, right?
I'll tell you what, I'll donate $1 million.
All right. We're going to write that check down. So there you go. And now my next thing that I'm really pissed off about is football. Football season just started. And some more millionaire sons of bitches are out there kneeling down and crying and trying to save the world. And I wouldn't even, be upset about it if it really meant something or if, they were doing something. But these guys are spoiled millionaires who are complaining about their treatment in society. That they should take half of their money and donate it to the inner cities and the problems, and they could fix all of these problems. Taking a knee never solved anything.
That's right.
Yes.
Bonk him in the head.
Sons of bitches.
Get rid of them.
Bonk, bonk.
If you don't want to stand during the national anthem, then you can't play.
And then the worst offender, of
You're
course,
fired.
is Colin Kaepernick. And did you know he was actually raised by white people? That he was adopted and he has 2 white parents. And he grew up, rich, middle-class house. He never had to struggle in his life. And now all of a sudden he's Malcolm X. I don't understand how that happened.
Well,
So,
I'll tell you what. There was a white kid that sued his parents because he's white.
and what does that
I
mean?
think I've read about
I
it.
don't know, but I guess he wants to be African American. I guess I don't know.
All right, the show's taking a turn for the worse now.
Yeah.
So, all right, I think Danny wants to fight Colin Kaepernick right after I fight Oprah.
I don't know about that.
I'll let you fight
I
it.
might take a knee on that.
Yeah. So now we're gonna find out everything about Brainfest now, but I want to take another little break and do a station identification, and we'll be right back with Brainfest. Hey, welcome back live from Dennis's house, 474 The Mix. We are here with Brainfest, Black Rain, and now we're going to find out everything there is to know about Brainfest. Brian, you are the organizer and founder of Brainfest, I would imagine. I really don't know anything about Brainfest. I'm playing at Brainfest, but I don't know anything about it. So tell us everything there is.
My nickname's Brain. I got that from Ace Frehley when I was 10.
Ace Frehley.
Yeah, he gave me an autograph and he spelled my name wrong. So I became Brain. So,
Awesome.
but anyway, yeah, man, when we put Black Rain together like 10 years ago, we wanted to do when we started playing, we wanted to do our first show, so we wanted to get a bunch of bands to play. So we got this place in Jackson, the Italian American Club.
New Jersey.
In New Jersey, yes. And, we got a bunch of bands to put together and do this festival. So the bass player at the time, his name is Dan Horenchek. We played at his house, and he came up with Brainstock because it was around, Woodstock, 2 and all that stuff. So
Right.
I says, nah, you don't have to, use my name at all and anything, It's just make it have to do with the band, Black Rain. So he says, okay, and he comes back a week later and he goes, I got the tickets and we're going to call it Brainfest. I said, I guess, I guess my name's in it. So that's how it all started. And that was in 2008 when we first did the first Brainfest. It was pretty successful. A lot of people came. It was a good time, So we wanted to do another one. So next year we did another one, Brainfest 2, we called it. And it was 2009. Other bands, more bands this time. It was the same place at the Italian American Club in Jackson, New Jersey. Across the street from the one and only Zach Wild's house.
Oh, really?
By the way, he lived right across the street in Brookwood 3. And, yeah, we did it, and it was very successful again. So then we took a break for a while, and then we did another one. So we had 3, and then we had 4, and now we're having 5.
Right, so we're up to Brainfest 5.
Brainfest
now.
5 at the Jackson Moose in Jackson, New Jersey. And this one I think is going to be a little more successful. It's just gotten bigger and bigger every year that we've done it. And now we got more bands. We got 10 bands this year. It was always usually 8 or 6, But
So it's Saturday, September
September 23rd.
What time does it start?
Starts at 11. The gates open at 11 a.m. and it goes to 11 p.m. But I'm sure you can hang out and stay as the Moose, man. It's Jackson. We're gonna have food trucks. We're gonna have one big party. Pig roasting. He's calling it Pigapalooza. He's going to have 4 pigs that he's roasting.
Wow.
There's going to be plenty of alcohol and beer and soda and wine and great people, man.
And I even saw you said that it was child friendly. It's not just the crazy heavy
Absolutely.
metal guys running around
Absolutely.
vomiting, right?
It's child friendly. If you got a kid 12 and under, they're free. You're going to have plenty of food. You got a food truck. It's the Asbury Dog, I believe. One big party barbecue. And you got the bands. You got...
You want to name all the bands?
Yes, we have McHale's Plot. Carl in 3D, Tilted, the Walkarounds, the DeSilvas, Negative Sky, Second Skin, Lower the Veil. I'm actually missing one.
Black Rain.
Oh, Flat Lever. Forgot. Look, I'm even wearing a shirt. Flat Lever and Black Rain, the American Black Sabbath Experience. Black Rain headlines it. It's basically like an it's basically like an Ozfest, you know. Yeah, we forgot you, Ray. Sorry, man.
Sorry, pal.
You know what? I forgot.
I remind you.
Just like you always say. But anyway, it's going to be a good time. It's all day, rain or shine, but hopefully we'll have a nice, beautiful, sunny 77.
What's the weather report looking like so far?
77 and sunny, man.
Nice. Can't beat that.
And you got the DeSilvas playing.
Woohoo.
Dennis, live in Dennis's house, and me, Danny, and Scotty over here.
This guy.
Rock and rolling in Black Rain. And we got our boy Greg Locascio, which couldn't make it tonight.
Now,
What a beast on those drums, huh?
Who's in charge
awesome.
of like organizing the bands and saying, all right, you guys go up at this time, you guys come on, you
Me.
got 20 minutes?
Basically me.
And isn't that like the worst part, the most stressful part?
Yes.
And how good are you at it? Because I did this a couple times and I was like 10 hours over time, you know?
Well, basically, you know, it starts at 11:30. First band goes on 11:30. They got to do a half hour, you know, just like at a regular Ozfest. But Ozfest, basically, they were doing 25 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm giving them a half hour. 3 bands get a half hour. I think 3 bands get 40 minutes. Flat Lever gets 45. Negative Sky gets 45. Second Skin and Lower the Veil get an hour. And we get 2 hours.
And then, like, how much time is allotted for switching from one band to the next?
Basically, we're going to have a back line. So 20 minutes, 25 minutes at the most.
Okay.
You guys actually get 40 minutes too, 45 minutes or something like that.
Nice.
Huge guys.
Yeah, right.
The DeSilvas. Doug DeSilva, what's up, brother?
Yeah. So, all right. So now, what is there some sort of charity or something behind this, or just what was the premise behind it? You just wanted to have a party, and that
It's
was
just
it?
a rock and roll party.
All right,
man.
there you go. Festival, and the town is all behind it. They don't.
Oh no, they love it, man.
And it's like, is this place in the woods or something? So
It's,
no houses around.
No, there's actually Jewish people that live behind the stage.
Like an Hasidic community.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Hasidic,
really?
yes.
Oh, no.
Wow, they
Yeah.
must love that. They don't shut you down.
No, they can't, man. We have a permit and we play until 10 o'clock. So
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, and I guess if it's Saturday, they can't even come out and complain because they're not allowed out on Saturday.
nope,
So that was a
point.
good
They
plan.
can't.
Good planning, yeah.
they can't. And it's it's for a good cause. You know, yeah. It's it's for the Moose, for the Jackson Moose.
The Jackson Moose, the dreaded Jackson Moose. So, all right. So that's going to be a good time. And now, if people want to get tickets, do they just show up at this place, or you can get tickets online somehow? Or
You
what?
can get tickets through all the bands. You go on Facebook. You go to the Brainfest page.
Sit back now. I told you to move up, but now it's getting too loud. Your voice is booming. So sit back, relax for a little while.
There's a page on Facebook. It's Brainfest.
Mm-hmm.
You get tickets through that. All the bands are on there. You can get a hold of any band. You can get tickets through the bands, or you can come to the door and get tickets at the door.
All right. This is
The
awesome.
Doors.
And what did you say was the Jackson Moose Lodge
Jackson Moose Lodge.
in Jackson, New Jersey?
It's on East Veterans Highway.
There you go.
Very nice. All right, so now let's take a little break now. Let's play some songs. Like I said, we can do the history of heavy metal. So as Brian mentioned this song last time when we were talking about the history of metal. So we're going to play Summertime Blues by Blue Cheer, and we're going to play Hush by Deep Purple, and we'll be right back. Hey, welcome back live from Dennis's house. That was Summertime Blues by Blue Cheer and Hush by Deep Purple, 2 of the forefathers of heavy metal. So, like I said, we're going to discuss a little bit about Led Zeppelin now. Led Zeppelin II, this album came out in 1969. You guys ever hear this album before, any of you?
Never.
Nah.
It's a very good album.
What is it? Isn't it what? It's 1963 right now. Isn't it?
This came out, what was the date here? I have it written down. I don't know the exact date, but I think it was October. Where's my notes? See, my damn engineer is missing, so all of my notes are up in arms here. So,
Where's that Choo-Choo Charlie at?
yeah.
69 or 70, right?
No, it's definitely 69. I want to know the exact day. I wrote that down. October 22nd, 1969. That was, it's like almost October 22nd right now. So how many years ago was 69?
Last year it came out.
So this is, would you guys agree, one of the greatest albums ever recorded?
Absolutely.
Does anybody like to say whether this is their favorite Led Zeppelin album?
Dan could talk about that album.
I'm sure he could. Now, would you say this is your favorite Led Zeppelin album, Dan?
One of them.
Well, of course.
It's like picking your favorite band.
I know,
Can't do
exactly.
it. We talked about this last time.
Right,
It's
but I
impossible.
definitely narrowed it down. For me, I think it's between this and Physical Graffiti are my two favorites.
I think you're right on that.
Yes. So anyway, this album came out in 1969. It was a commercial success. It was the band's first album to reach #1 on the charts in the UK and the US. Did you know that?
Did not.
Yes.
No.
And A Whole Lot of Love went to #4 on the charts. That was their highest ranking single. You believe that? #4, even higher than Stairway to Heaven. But you know what was #1 ahead of A Whole Lot of Love? It was Yummy, 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 I Got Love in My Tummy by Ohio Express. So that tells you what was going on in 1969, right?
Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy.
Will you guys be doing that by special request?
Sure.
A Sabbath version of it?
That would be great, man.
So,
Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy.
that'd be awesome. So, like I was saying, this album, the first album came out in 1969 as well. That's the most amazing part. That within basically a year, Jimmy Page broke up Yardbirds, formed Led Zeppelin, put out Led Zeppelin I and Led Zeppelin II, all in the span of like a year and a half. How amazing is that, Danny?
Pretty amazing. Sabbath did the same thing.
Exactly, and this was all going right around the same time, 68,
They
69.
didn't break bands up, though.
What's that?
They didn't break any other bands up, though, did they?
No.
Oh, so
Why? What are you saying?
Jimmy Page broke up the Yardbirds.
Oh, okay. Sabbath didn't break up any bands.
Yeah.
But I don't know, did Jimmy Page break up Yardbirds or they broke
left.
up
Basically, he changed the name.
from
Because
Yardbirds?
they were the new Yardbirds.
And then how did they get their name? Good trivia question. How did
Eric
Led Zeppelin?
Clapton.
No.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Keith
Someone.
Moon.
Yes, very good. 2 points for Brian. Brian's leading now. So, yes. And now let's look at this album cover here, because I always wondered what was going on with this album cover. It's very hard to see, but if you're playing at home, go get your album and look at it, because we're going to smell it soon anyway. But this was a picture from World War I. It was like a German flying troop led by the Red Baron, and they took the band's picture, and as you can see over here, they put them on there, and then they put other people's, like, you see that that guy doesn't belong there. They say that's like Miles Davis or
You know, when I first seen that album when I was a kid, I thought that was the whole band.
yeah, right. Exactly. I was like, who are these guys? I don't remember this guy. And this is like, they say that could be either Miles Davis or Blind Willie Johnson, and then like someone else is an astronaut, and this person here who looks kind of like Harpo Marx, that could actually, it's one of Andy Warhol's friends. So I don't know what the heck was going on here. But anyway, it's an amazing album. So let's go through these tracks. Every single song is amazing on here. We're going to name them one at a time. Whole Lot of Love. Now, it opens up the album with Whole Lot of Love. Great, great groove. And in the middle, they have all this stuff going on, the shenanigans. And then when it comes back into that guitar solo, what a, monumental, epic point in my life that was, right? And then it goes next into What Is and What Should Never Be. Another great, great song. And then my favorite off this album is the Lemon Song. That the groove between the bass and the drums on that is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
I know what
That's
you're saying.
John Bonham at his best with John Paul Jones, and it's just got such a great groove. And then, of course, it goes to Thank You, which is a beautiful love song, which I'm sure lots of people use for their wedding songs. You guys, anybody here use that for their wedding song? Thank you.
No.
Sorry.
You feel free to if you want to, anyway. And then, of course, side 2, Heartbreaker. Another ridiculous song. Goes right into Living Loving Maid, Ramble On, and then Moby Dick, of course, which is John Bonham doing his extended guitar solo, which is... Drum solo, yes. Sorry.
I thought he did it on
Drums.
purpose.
No, I messed
I thought
up.
he was trying to be funny.
No. So it was just awesome. But did you notice that girls do not like drum solos? That you'll be hard pressed to find a girl that likes a drum solo.
You know,
You're probably
Bill
right.
Ward didn't like him either. He always thought they were boring.
But this is one that I kind of like. Oh, I have a fascinating story about this. That I interviewed Pamela DeBar recently, and she was, the world's most famous groupie, and she dated Jimmy Page, and she was even saying that he came over with the initial pressing of this, like a demo of Led Zeppelin II, and they were listening to it, and she felt bad, and she didn't want to tell him that she hated the drum solo part. So even back then, she said, and even when they were hanging backstage, that the drum solo would go on for like a half hour when they were doing it live, and they'd all be getting fired up back there, and Bonham's beating his brains out on stage. So, it's one of the most influential albums of all time as well. Everyone who ever picked up a guitar, bass, drums since then is definitely influenced by that. Would you agree with that, Scott?
I would say yes.
Are you a big Led Zeppelin fan? I don't know anything about you, Scott. This is our first meeting, so
I've always liked them.
yeah.
I had that album when I was a boy.
Don't you
I had
still
the
have
eight-
it?
I had the 8-track.
Somewhere. Actually, I got that album. I did the Columbia House deal. Like
Oh, yes.
50
The
records for a
200
quarter or
albums
something
for
like
a
that.
penny.
Then you don't pay him.
Yeah, I didn't pay him because I was underage. and I had to
Yeah,
pay
because
him.
every other album costs like $100 a piece.
Yeah.
Then after.
Then you then,
So that was
then
one
when,
of them.
Then when they caught you on that, you went to RCA. You got it from them.
Yeah, I knew somebody that would give a different address, like people they knew would be working during the day, so they would leave it on the porch, and he'd go running up and take it off, and then these people would get charged for it and lose their house. It was the Ponzi scheme. That was my friend Bernie Madoff as a kid. That's what he would do. So, what else about this album? Anybody else? You got anything you'd like to mention about this album, Dan?
Influenced me so much. I've been in a Zeppelin tribute band for many, many years.
Yeah, see?
Still in it, Black Dog. So
Talk about the noise and a whole lot of love in the middle.
what? The theremin?
There we go.
There.
The what?
Gonna pull
Theremin?
teeth. Yes.
What are you calling it that for?
That's what the
That's
noise
what it
maker
is.
is in the middle.
Oh,
of the It's actually the first synthesizer.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And Jimmy put it to use, is making some crazy noises.
Oh, wow.
So it's very cool.
Yeah. Do you do that on stage
do.
during your?
Yes, he does.
Yes, I do.
Oh,
Pretty
nice.
cool, man.
Wow, that's very good stuff here. So, as you noticed, this is an original copy from 1969, and this was my oldest brother's copy of it. You can see he put his initials up here for all times because he was a jerk and he wouldn't let me play his albums back then. But now I got them all. So, yep, Led Zeppelin II. Let's take some time now and smell the album. Everyone playing at home, go get your album because this one is so good. I pre-smelled it before. Scott, you're going to be amazed how awesome this is. Oh, my God.
I can't believe you actually do this. I thought I was the only one.
Oh, that is so good.
Hold on. Oh yeah. It's got that slight
See?
little dewy smell. to it.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Some of
beautiful.
this.
Get
Yeah.
some, Dan.
So normally we name our favorite song off the album during this time too. I'm going Lemon Song, definitely. Scott, what's your favorite song on this album?
I always lean towards a Heartbreaker.
There you go. Can't go wrong with any song. Brian,
I'm going to go with a whole lot of love.
nice. And Danny.
I gotta go with Scott on Heartbreaker. Come on, it's one of the first recorded guitar solos where the guitar was
Yes, just by itself.
Yeah, the center of attention. So I got to go with that as a guitar player.
And the funny thing about this album here, it has a sticker on it because this was, original copy. It says gold certified, gold record certified. But since then, it's been 12 times platinum. It's sold. It's been on the charts, I think, since 1969 as well. So
I think I bought about 10 of them myself.
See, that's the thing, like when file sharing and you could steal music came about, I felt that I was owed it because I bought so many copies of different things. Like, say this one here. I had this album. I bought the cassette. I bought the 8-track. I bought the CD then. Yep. So that's 4 copies right there I bought. And I probably bought multiple ones from losing things over the years. So, they definitely owe me.
That's
you hear that, Jimmy Page? You owe me, Jimmy Page. I actually want something free. Actually, Jimmy Page should come on my show now to make everything even.
Trying to get him.
Yeah. So that's that. That's all I have to say about this album. And so let's go back, talk a little bit about Brainfest before we wrap it up here, because this show is all about Brainfest, And before we go, I just want to say that I read that critics, when this first came out, it was a commercial success, but of course critics panned it. They didn't like it. Can you believe that?
Of course.
These
Come
people
on.
should be dragged out in the street and horsewhipped.
What do critics even know? That Siskel and Ebert way back when. Those fruitcakes are going to like the same movies I like. Get the heck out of here. Come on now.
2 thumbs up.
Okay.
Now,
2 thumbs up.
Yeah, the good critics though was on Living Color. Remember those guys when they would give it like a snap, 2 snaps up.
Hate
it. Those were the best reviewers. I wonder what they thought of Led Zeppelin II. So
who criticizes them? I like to criticize them.
Yes. So there you go. There you have it. Everything you ever want to know about Led Zeppelin II. So now, in the history of rock and roll, now we did Sabbath and we did Led Zeppelin. What are we going to do next time? Deep Purple?
Ooh.
There you go.
Never know.
All
seen Deep Purple a couple weeks ago. Good show.
Oh, that's right. They were with Alice and
Cooper,
Edgar Winter.
Edgar Winter did a 15-minute version of Frankenstein.
Nice.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Awesome. I saw him by himself recently. He was great. He was on the show as well.
He did a few of his brother's songs too.
Yeah.
Talked about him.
Yeah, he was an awesome guy. Loved Edgar Winter.
Yeah.
And what about Alice?
Alice was great, man.
That must have been some awesome show,
he
man.
Had a really, really good guitar player. This girl.
Nita Strauss.
Yeah, she was in a tribute band to Alice Cooper or something.
Oh, really?
No,
I'm
she
telling
was
you.
in, what's it called? The Iron Maidens.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Get
she was
out.
in?
Really? Oh, that's great.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Wow.
she's great, man.
And you know what I heard too? That when Prince was still... What is that?
Hello?
That's,
I didn't do it.
dude, that's space calling us, man.
Leonard
Wow.
Nimoy.
Brian's mic.
What's happening in your mic?
We're all
There's
getting
aliens
echo.
coming.
Yeah, we'll leave that off. All right, we're back.
But yeah, she
God
was
knows
a
what
really
happened.
good guitar player. Let me tell you.
I bet.
And so what I was about to say is that Prince, when he was still alive, continually tried to steal her from Alice Cooper because he wanted her in his band. But he was like, stay away, you can't have her.
Oh, she's been with Alice Cooper that long, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, she was amazing. So,
Yeah, she is really good. She did a guitar solo. It was awesome, man.
yeah, pretty good for a girl, right, Danny?
Yeah, looking for a guy, too. Come on.
I'm just kidding. It's the He-Man Woman Haze Club today, so we can say
Okay,
that.
I'll let you say
Yeah, imagine
Nothing
that.
but testosterone.
Wouldn't that be awesome? That after the show, you went backstage to meet Nita, the guitar player, and you're like, "Oh, you're pretty good for a girl," you know? And she punches you right in the face. So let's wrap this up and let's talk more about Brainfest before we wrap it up. Now, September 23rd, Jackson Moose Lodge in Jackson, New Jersey.
right.
It's gonna be featuring
Starts at gates open 11 a.m.
till 11
to
p.m.
11 p.m.
Or the police are called, or the
You can
National
still-
Guard.
You can still stay afterwards if you want. The Moose stays open late.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, so that's something to look forward to. Remember, we can go on Facebook. You'll see Brainfest, and you can get tickets, find out more information. and it's going to be a great time. So hopefully we'll see you at the Brainfest. Brainfest 5. Yes. So, so we're going to wrap this show up now. We're going to play some more music. And, of course, we're going to do some more Led Zeppelin. We're going to play What Is and What Should Never Be off of Led Zeppelin II. And then we're going to play a song maybe you've heard of called NIB by Black Sabbath and the September Artist of the Month. You guys like Black Sabbath as well?
A little bit.
I think so.
Not really.
Scott, all right.
Big Culture Club fan.
Usually, Scott, I ask this, but I didn't ask you last time. What is your favorite band of all time? Is it Black Sabbath?
I don't know.
No, it's not.
I've always liked Black Sabbath. What's my favorite? I don't know.
All right, we're staying on. We're not shutting the show down until you come up with an answer.
When I was younger, it's changed over the years. When I was mid-70s, it was Kiss. Then I discovered Deep Purple.
There you go. What is it right now?
Uh,
Justin Bieber?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
All right, that's your final answer. It's going on the air for that forever. So you better.
I can live with it.
All right. Thanks for listening to Live from Dennis's House here on 474 The Mix. We got Black Rain, the Sabbath Tribute, Brainfest, and Led Zeppelin II. What a combination. Perfect together. We'll see you next time when we'll be doing... Oh, my God. Brian's destroying the whole thing.
Did I do that the last time?
I think next week we're going to... Cha-Cha will be back, and we'll be doing a... regularly scheduled show. So see you next time. We are out.